Hey guys, Victoria Paxton here. Thanks for stopping back by my YouTube channel. Okay, we're going to talk about Heaven LaShae Ross. Hey guys, we're going to talk about Heaven LaShae Ross today. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. It's free. If you're a real psychic, you already know. If you're a fake psychic, be gone. Don't copy my shit. How about that? Okay, so Heaven LaShae Ross was up early for school in the morning of Tuesday, August 19th of 2003. The 11-year-old, who preferred to be called Shae, had recently started 6th grade at Collins Riverside Middle School in her hometown of Northport, Alabama. Shae left the trailer she shared with her mother, stepfather, and older sister around 6:55 a.m. to make the 50-yard walk to her bus stop. Shae said goodbye to her mother and stepfather, then rushed to catch up with her 13-year-old sister, who had left the house a couple of minutes earlier. Shortly after Shae left for the bus stop, a storm started to roll in and it began to thunder. Shae's stepfather, Kevin, knew that Shae had always hated thunder, so he decided to intercept the girls at the bus stop and drive them to school so they wouldn't have to wait outside in the rain. He went outside and took a few steps in the direction of the bus stop, which was located just outside of the Willowbrook trailer park where they lived. He called out for Alex and Shae, but only Alex responded. There was no sign of Shae at all. Somehow on the short walk from the trailer park to the bus stop, Shae had vanished. Unsure what was going on, Kevin backtracked to the trailer and checked to make sure Shae hadn't managed to return home without him noticing. Panic started to set in when he realized that she wasn't there, and he was forced to tell his wife, Beth, that her youngest daughter appeared to be missing. Beth immediately feared the worst. Shae wasn't the sort of child who would have wandered far from home, and she certainly wasn't the type to skip any of her classes. Certain that someone must have abducted her daughter, Beth called the police. Despite Shae's young age, police weren't initially concerned about her disappearance. She's a little kid. They assured Beth that Shae had probably taken off with their friends and would return home after the school day was over. Beth insisted that Shae would never do anything like that, but police held firm. Noting that no one had reported seeing Shae being forced into a car, police said they were unable to issue an Amber Alert. What in the actual... You guys, let me just go on. Although they didn't believe foul play had taken place, officers did go door to door in the trailer park to see if any of the residents had seen Shae or witnessed anything unusual that morning. They were able to find 3 witnesses who recalled seeing Shae as she walked towards her bus stop, but none of them noticed anything unusual. A young man who was walking to the bus stop saw her as she was leaving her home, and a neighbor had glanced out her window in time to see Shae passing by her trailer. Another woman who lived closer to the bus stop told police that she had seen Shae walking down Hunter Creek Road. She was able to describe the hot pink outfit Shae was wearing that day. She had only observed Shae for a few seconds. She was unable to tell police if Shae made it all the way to the bus stop or not. All the neighbors that police spoke with were cooperative. They voluntarily allowed police to look through their trailers to verify that Shae wasn't there. Satisfied that Shae wasn't in any of the trailers, officers went to Collins Riverside Middle School next. They spoke with many of Shae's classmates to see if any of them might know where she was, but the children appeared to be mystified by her sudden disappearance. The officers asked friends if she had access to a cell phone or a computer, but soon ruled out the possibility that Shae had been communicating with anybody on the internet. When the school day ended and there was still no sign of Shae, police realized that their initial assumptions about Shae skipping school for the day were wrong. You think? You guys, I have to put this on. I'm sorry. It's like 700 degrees in here. Y'all know the drill. I can't help it. Officials then began to think Shae may have run into foul play. Although Beth felt somewhat vindicated, she was also so angry that it had taken them so long to change their minds. I would have been too. My God. At this point, Shae had been missing for almost 8 hours. You guys, that's a lifetime with a missing child. If she had been abducted, there was no telling how far away from home she might be. By late afternoon, the trailer park was swarming with detectives, patrol officers, and reporters. Shae's disappearance may have gotten off to a slow start, but law enforcement seemed determined to make up for lost time. Before the sun went down that night, there would be local, state, and federal law enforcement officers on the scene. A little late there, guys, don't you think? A mobile command center was quickly set up and would remain in operation for the next 10 weeks. As word spread throughout the community that a child was missing, hundreds of people gathered at the trailer park to assist in the search efforts. Local businesses were also quick to assist in the search efforts. Olive Garden and Kmart made sure the volunteers had plenty of food and water, while Kinko's and Office Max quickly printed thousands of missing persons flyers at no charge using ink that was donated by Office Depot. While volunteers helped out with the physical search for Shae, detectives were busy canvassing the area looking for anyone who might have seen the girl after she was reported missing. They pulled surveillance footage from Steve's Grill and Billiards, a business that was located close enough to the bus stop that a surveillance camera picked up cars that were headed towards the bus stop. Detectives were hopeful that the footage might reveal what had happened to Shae, but it turned out to be a dead end. As in all missing children's cases, detectives had to consider the possibility that one of Shae's parents might have been involved in the disappearance. Beth had admitted that the family had gone through a few rocky patches. Police had been involved on at least one occasion where a fight between Beth and Kevin got physical. Shae and Kevin appeared to have a great relationship, however, and there was nothing to suggest that he had been violent with her. Knowing that they would need to be eliminated as suspects, both Kevin and Beth voluntarily submitted to polygraph examinations concerning Shae's disappearance. Both of them passed, and detectives were confident they weren't involved. Nearly a month after Shae vanished, police announced that they had picked up a 20-year-old man for questioning. He was a friend of Shae's older brother and had been in trouble for harboring underage runaways. Despite his less than pristine background, investigators eventually determined that he had nothing to do with Shae's disappearance. 5 weeks into the search for Shae, detectives found themselves back at the family trailer after a mysterious fire broke out there. The fire had been confined to Shae's bedroom and had destroyed many of the girls' belongings. Arson investigators found the blaze suspicious and believed it had been set intentionally, although the family had no idea who would do such a thing. Months went by and detectives were no closer to finding Shae than they had been the morning she was reported missing. During the early days of the investigation, the sheriff had purchased the exact hot pink rat shirt that Shae had been wearing when she went missing and hung it up inside of the Tuscaloosa County Sheriff's Office. He knew they were most likely searching for a body at this point, and he wanted to make sure his deputies knew what to look for when they were combing through the wooded areas. On December 19th, 2006, a man was collecting cans inside an abandoned house in Holt, Alabama, when he stumbled upon human remains. As soon as deputies arrived on scene, they knew that Shae had been found. The skeleton was encased in a hot pink Bratz shirt. Her remains had been stuffed into a crawl space that was filled with broken bottles, cans, and trash. Her book bag was a few feet away from her body. The home, which was on a dirt road about 8 miles away from the trailer park where Shae had last been seen, was in an area known for its high crime rate. Detectives believed that the person who left Shae's body there had to be a local, as someone unfamiliar with the area would never have stumbled upon this property. Beth admitted that being able to give Shae a proper burial helped give her a small measure of closure, but she will still never have true closure until the monster responsible for killing her daughter is arrested and convicted. You guys, this case, kids' cases kill me, right? Okay, so I was not able to connect with Shae. Heaven, I was not. Happens with kids, I don't know why. But here's the thing. I was still getting information concerning this, and I believe without a doubt, there's no doubt, the police know who did this. Okay? I don't know if the whole department knows, but I know that there are detectives, and they're pretty confident they know who did this. The problem is there's no evidence, okay? So that's what's kind of holding things up. I was also Yeah. I was also feeling that this gentleman who did this monster that was responsible, I shouldn't call him a gentleman, he's a monster, piece of shit. He was a drug user. He was in and out of trouble. I feel like, you know, he was from that area locally. I feel like I was getting that, you know, he came out of nowhere and grabbed her. I was getting, here's the other thing. And I don't know why this is. Maybe I need to talk to a couple of my friends that have gifts, because I'm not sure why, but like I was seeing Ookie. So then I'm thinking, Ookie, what the heck? So I was thinking cookie. And then I was like, it's Ookie. So I thought, okay, I've heard of the nickname Mookie, Mookie. So I thought maybe that's somehow connected. I don't know. It was weird, but I was getting it, so I decided to tell y'all. So, you know, I'm going to be upfront about what I'm getting. This guy, for some reason, I think he has a daughter. That's the effed up part. I think he has a daughter. I'm not sure why, but I have that feeling that he has a daughter. I kept seeing like a tattoo. And for some reason, I think the tattoo was like on his right arm, and it was like a symbol, and like, it wasn't like a tattoo that you go into a tattoo parlor and you say, oh, I want that tattoo, you know, mom throws it. You know what I mean? Like, it was something that I think he designed that was like, it wasn't a landscape, but it was like symbols and like a background. I only saw it like for a quick second, so I can kind of remember what I saw, but I kind of can't, you know. Unfortunately, I think he harmed her, if you know what I mean, which is so freaking pathetic, especially because I keep getting that this guy has a daughter of his own. I pray the mother's raising that child, because that's so scary. I felt like he was on something. I was getting that like feeling in my head, like, you know, just being out of it. And I was thinking like drugs maybe. I'm not a big drug user, so yeah. I think I think that's how she passed. Here's the other thing. I was seeing 2 other women connected to this. And when I say connected to this, okay, I believe they've witnessed some things. I don't think they were in their right mind. I think they were on some kind of substance. And I think they saw him with her. And I just think he played it off to them like, oh, it's my daughter, or something, you know, something to that effect, to where they didn't think anything of it, you know, and they were in probably most likely a drug-induced haze, so they may not even remember. If they do remember, I hope they come forward, you know, but here's the thing. I hope I'm wrong, and I always tell y'all if I'm wrong, I'll say it, I'll admit to it. I just don't see them convicting anybody of this. But it's definitely this guy. It's definitely this guy I'm seeing. Like, I know it is. And I know the police know who he is, you know? And I'm sure that's got to be so freaking ass frustrating, especially because they blew the case from the jump. You know, you don't ever, in a missing child's case, you don't ever let 8 hours go by. I mean, that's effing ridiculous. You know, so her mom is a braver, stronger woman than I ever will be, because I would never let that police department live it down if that were my child. Like, she's obviously an incredibly strong and brave woman, and she's probably a Christian, and she's probably had to forgive them to get through it, type of thing. You know what I mean? So sad, you guys. I swear, you know, for every case I start working on concerning a child, there's like another 50 for every name. You know, there's so many cases out there, you guys, and I'm trying to work through them. I'm having major health issues. I'm trying to get through it for you guys, and I apologize if I've let anybody down. I'm trying to get back on track, okay? So, Be nice, be kind, stay safe, stay healthy. The big word is supposedly rampant again. We have a friend who is taking his son today as we speak to be checked to see if he has it. But I have jury duty, you guys. I'm psychic. I haven't had to go in and be, questioned yet or not. So it's at this point, you're still just sitting in a room waiting for a hearing type of deal. So I'm sure they'll get rid of me as soon as they find out what I am. But a bunch of people were talking about it, and several people, there was like 60 of us in this room, and several people were saying that, they had just recently had the C or somebody they knew, and they were saying that it was like mild, it was no big deal. So let's hope and pray that it's not that bad this time. I think people are having more effects of post-C syndrome rather than having C. You know what I mean? They're having issues after the fact. So, all right, you guys, be nice, be kind, stay safe, stay healthy, and that about does it for me. Bye, guys.